Hello guys and welcome back. This is for you if you are someone that you feel like constantly busy, that you have a million things to do, but at the end of every day you feel like you've ticked off nothing or you're no closer to getting those important things done. You know those things where every day you're literally saying to yourself, I need to do that, I need to do that, I need to do that. And then you've got the smaller tasks, they take 2 seconds and they're important, but then you just forget about them. But they're so important as well. You know, like we always have a million things to do. There's our tasks, we've got errands, we've got people to get back to, we've got groceries, work things, kid things. And so many of us just don't know how to prioritize it all because it all feels important. And that's where I'm going to come in and help you and save the day. Life is unfortunately a never ending to-do list. You're never going to get to the end of it because every single day more things are being added. And if we're not able to manage these things, the next minute, the house is a shit show, which is going to happen anyway if you've got children. You've got bills due. You've got unopened mail that's been sitting on the bench for weeks. So much happening, and you get to a point where you just feel like you're suffocated and you just simply do not know where to start because there's so many things to do. And I feel you. Again, I'm terrible at prioritization. That's why I came up with this life-changing hack, because although I make planners and all the things which have helped me so much, you need to know the strategy behind it. And if all those things sound like you and you're just sick of feeling in a constant state of overwhelm and never knowing when to do a task, what task, and you just feel like you're holding everything in your head and you're just like, I can't do this anymore, make sure you listen to this episode and listen to the end, because that is where I am going to tell you exactly what to do. But we've got to start from the top. There is a few reasons why you are the way that you are, basically, in the nicest way possible. A is you are loading up your plate too much and then you get overwhelmed and you start nothing. AKA you just have too much shit to do, so you just don't do any of it, which I am very much guilty of. B, you are holding all of your to-dos and important shit all in your brain. They're not meant to stay there, guys. Our brain isn't very helpful at times. It will literally, my brain especially, will just malfunction sometimes. And there also is a quote I loved, and the quote was, brains are for creating ideas, not for holding them. And I do that all the time. I'll come up with the best ideas at the worst times, and now I know I just got to write it down or drop it in my notes, and then I bring it home and put it in my notebook because I will forget it. The last reason is because you don't use a planner, aka STEPHPASE planners, and if you do use a planner, you're not being strategic with your tasks, which again is where I'm going to come in. So you're probably wondering, okay, Steph, what is this planning hack? What is this magical strategy that changed your life? Now, I figured this out a while ago because I was like you. I had a lot of to-dos, didn't know where to put them, never got things done. It was a shit show. So I came up with the top 3 and the quick 3 method. Now, this is where you choose, and it sounds very simple, but I'm going to be breaking it down for you, giving you criteria, questions to ask, because right now, you might be driving somewhere right now and you're like, that's easy, I can figure that out. But when you actually write down all your tasks and you look at them, it can actually be a little bit tricky to determine what is your top 3 and what is your quick 3. Now, your top 3 tasks are the 3 most important tasks to focus on each day. And the purpose of this is to complete critical tasks to ensure progress and no negative impact occurs if you don't do it. Right now, I'm making planners, so that is a really important task for me. And if I don't do it, the impact is humongous. Basically, I'm fucked. And it relates to everyone. I'll be giving you some more examples. Now, your quick 3 tasks are 3 smaller, quick tasks that can be completed easily. Now, the purpose of the quick 3 can vary. So these can either be super important tasks that are just quick to action, or these are maintenance tasks that do not have a huge impact or a humongous level of importance, but they do need to get done. And when you get to do these, it gives you that sense of accomplishment, like, booking your car for a service. Now, let's go through the criteria of what makes your top 3 tasks your top 3. The first criteria is urgency. So these tasks have very strict deadlines and they need your immediate attention. The next thing is importance. So these tasks have a big impact on your long-term goals and also your responsibilities. For example, those you take care of. So your children, you obviously need to do things for them. And that has a big impact if you don't do things that are of importance and it's urgent. And these are also things that have impact on your long-term goals. So when we say your top 3 tasks, this definitely isn't just to do with work. This has got to do with like your health, any of those things that have a big impact on your life. Now, the 3 questions to further help you determine if it is a top task or not, because trust me, you're going to need them, is will this task have a significant impact on the outcome of my week? So this again ties into your responsibilities, things you've got to do, who you've got to care for, and also your goals. Question number 2, does this task have an urgent deadline to meet? And this also can tie into your quick 3, but I do feel that if it's urgent, you need to pop it in your top 3. And if it obviously has, all the things like a big impact, all that type of thing, even if it only takes you 20 minutes, should be in your top 3 anyway. Question number 3, will completing this task move me even closer to my long-term goals? So going to the gym, maybe it's finally starting to work on your side business that you've been wanting to start forever. And that is a long-term goal, and this is something that you need to work towards. It could also be going through your budget, going through your bank statements, which take time, but in turn, you can figure out where you can save money. So then you can achieve your goal of going on a family holiday or saving for something. Now, these are my favorite questions you can ask yourself if you get stuck, or you can just go straight to these 2 because I actually do love these 2. The first magical question is, if you're still stuck on your top 3, what impact will not completing this task today have on my life, my work, and my family? So I love this because although you're not going out and buying the new Dora the Explorer toy isn't going to affect you, it is going to affect your kid when she's got the shits because she has a birthday party on the weekend and she's got no present to give to her friend. So then it is actually going to affect you. So something like that. And I think we naturally think like that anyway as mothers, but I think it is good to be able to think of how does not doing this impact my life, my work, and my family? And my most favorite question that I love, because I know when you ask yourself this question, you will know in your gut if you should do it or not. And that question is, how will I feel if I get this done today? Now, we all have those tasks that have been eating away at us for months, potentially. You lose sleep over it and you just keep putting it off and you keep putting it off. And although it might not be urgent or have a deadline, it's something you still need to do and it is affecting your mental health. And you putting it off is making it worse. So when you ask yourself this question and you're going through your list, which I'll take you through later, you will know, I've got to do this shit today. And then you're going to feel so much better, honestly. So that is my most favorite question. An example of that would be decluttering the garage. Our garage is like one of the first places to get trashed along with my car. And when I put it off, it just feels worse and worse. And then you finally do it and it's actually not that bad. So making sure that within this 3 tasks do include, if you have the capability and you don't have a million deadlines every week and day, that you include those tasks that just eat away at you and get them done. Just get them done. Now, just some really quick examples. You guys have got the gist by now, but some really quick examples for, I say, people that are working of top 3 tasks. This could be completing a key project, could be preparing for an important meeting and developing a new strategy for a project. Now, an example for mums who possibly aren't working at this point could be preparing meals and planning weekly groceries, because we know the outcome of that is not fun. Helping kids with homework or school projects. Like for me, the kids just had their very first proper assignment and it was a speech. And man, I stressed out. I took hours on it. Harper's a really good reader and Rillo's getting really good now, but it was that was a top task for me that day. And I had so much other things to do, but that's top importance to me, obviously. And then another one would be scheduling and attending family appointments. There's a million more, but these are just examples. Now let's move on to your criteria for your quick 3 tasks. Now it sounds pretty, again, self-explanatory, but you will be surprised. There is an abundance of tasks that only take not very long, but they hold different levels of importance. And this is where these questions come into play. Now, the criteria for a quick 3 task is tasks that can be done under 15 minutes, tasks that are straightforward and easy to complete, so the mental capacity is pretty low, like you can just get it done. And it is a necessity. So these tasks, even though they are minor, they still need to be done. They can be small tasks with big impact. And again, if it has really high importance, even if it doesn't take long, I would still pop it in your top 3 because there's a certain way you're going to do this in your planner and plan your day. So you'll understand in a minute. Now, 3 questions to determine your quick tasks. Question number 1, can I obviously complete this in under 15 minutes? Number 2, is this task pretty simple and straightforward? Number 3, does this task, even though it is fast, need to be done this week? And what's the impact if I don't do it? And again, with the 2 magic questions that I add on, is what impact will it have if I don't complete it on my life, work, and family? So it could be as simple as replying to your boss. You should probably do that. And the last question is, how will I feel if I get this done today? Do you know how many times, this is TMI, but I had to book a pap smear, and these are super important, and I'm not underplaying that whatsoever. And it doesn't really make sense when I say it out loud, but because I've got health anxiety, I kept putting it off for some reason, and it just kept eating away at me and eating away at me. So that's something that is actually should be a top priority because it's health. But when I asked myself, how will I feel if I get this done today or this week? I knew straight away I had to do it. And that is why I love that question, because your gut does not lie. It will tell you what you need to do and when you need to do it. Now, some quick tasks for people who work is, sending a quick email, making a phone call, tidying up a workspace, cleaning up your planner, and then scheduling appointments. So things like that. There's a million other examples. Examples for mums at home would be, like for my kids, was I had to order them new bike shorts for under their dress because the ones I bought them apparently were too short. So that was one of them. Organising a small area of a room or just a room in general, unless it's like a kid's bedroom or your bedroom and it's really affecting you. It's just like having those parts of the house that kind of like eat away at you, and it could be just a drawer and it's only going to take you 15 minutes, but you just don't do it. That's when you ask yourself that question. How will I feel if I get this done? And then you'll do it. Now let's move on to implementing the top 3 and quick 3 method today. Now, you're going to now start every day doing this method. You're going to be identifying your top 3 and your quick 3. If your brain is overloaded, which I'm assuming it is, I think you know what I'm going to say because I say this all the time. We're going to do a brain dump. You're going to get it all out. And now what we're going to do is, looking at this list first before we start doing anything else, is look at anything that actually is just bullshit and you don't need to do. Get rid of it. Now what I want you to do is highlight tasks that will take 15 minutes or less. I really want you guys to, after this episode, go back and listen to last week's episode because I talk about time estimation and how we can be very bad at it. So that's where this comes into play. So knowing what tasks actually only take 15 minutes. So you go through your questions for each one. What is necessary to complete this week only? Now, I want you to do the same for important tasks in another color, the ones that have to be done this week. Now, these again have a large impact if you don't do them. So this is why we're breaking them up. We're putting them into their groups. We've got your quick tasks over here. We've got your top task over here. And obviously it's like 3 a day. So do your math. You don't have to do it every single day, but like on the weekends, even if you can do like a top task and like your quick tasks, whatever it is, because obviously there's house resets and all that crap, it's up to you. Now that you've separated them all, I want you to open your planner and look at your days. But before you do this, this is a crucial step. You need to think about, when are you at your best to focus? Because this time is when you're going to be doing your top 3 tasks. These tasks are always going to be bigger. They've got more mental capacity needed. Focus mode, you're going to be doing them first. And I want you to remember, if it is a bigger task, you're not going to put declutter the house. You need to say, spend 1 hour decluttering the house, or declutter this room for this much time, because that's when you start to feel defeated, is when you set yourself up for failure, because it's not possible to do all of that in one day, plus your other top tasks, plus your quick tasks. Now, I want you to schedule in your top 3 tasks the best part of your day, and then your quick 3 can be like scattered around. I like to do them in a batch, just smash it out and get it done. And the best thing too, when you're looking over your week, is to kind of work backwards from due dates or the best dates to get it done for you. So for example, say you have an event on Sunday. You don't want to really have to rush around in your lunch break at work to go and find a dress. Maybe A, order it for express right now, like right this second. Or B, wait till you have a half day off or a day off, or like late night shopping and then go get your dress. That's what I mean. Or maybe a day your kids are at daycare, or, that type of thing. So now you've got your tasks, they're all categorized, you've scheduled them in, and now the leftovers that are on that list that you didn't do anything with, you're going to be transferring them and doing the same process for next week. But just remember, things happen. Honestly, there'll be times, like the podcast I recorded last week, Just setting up the camera because it was being a little shit took me an hour. So my whole day was moved around a bit, but it's about being flexible and not beating yourself up about it. This is just about you understanding your priorities and not putting a ton of things on your to-do list. That is just not possible. And at least you know in your core that if you get even half of these done, you're going to feel so much better, and it's the things that you need to be doing to move forward. As I said, some things can take longer than others. So what do you do if a task takes longer than expected? Adjust your schedule. So if a top task takes longer than expected, figure out if it's feasible to continue because it's that urgent and that important. So for me, if it was something that was like really, really important, then the other two tasks, I'm like, oh, they can wait till tomorrow, continue. Or you can break it down into, as I said, a time frame, or break it down into smaller tasks. And prioritize. So focusing on completing the most critical task first, and then you can reschedule the rest. And then being flexible. So things are going to move around. That's okay. You're not a failure. You're doing a bloody great job. And even just now knowing this framework is huge for you. Like, this is going to change your life. I shared with this on Instagram a while back, and I've had so many people message me. I shared how I do it in my planner. So in my planner, I highlight my top 3 tasks in like pink, so it's really bright. And then my quick 3s in like a light color like blue. And I know, and then it helps my brain be like, oh, yep, no matter what, these are the ones I really want to focus on. And then you're good to go. And in general, like if you really struggle, even more so, if you want to number your top 3 and your quick 3 in importance, but please, I do recommend doing them in batches of 3 each. Your top task when you have the most focus, for me, that's the morning, after lunch. Right now, it's after lunch and I'm a mashed potato. Like, my brain's just gone. She's out. She's gone back to the dealership to find the bathroom. Work with your body, not against it. Okay, so I hope this helped. I know this changed my life personally. And if you would love some more podcasts like this that are just really quick deep dives into little tactics and things you can do that will literally change the game and your stress levels, please let me know. As always, I would really appreciate you guys hitting subscribe and leaving me a review. It really lights me up. Again, this is independently run. I do it for fun. I do it for a passion. I do it to help you guys. And I love you, and I will talk to you guys on Monday. Bye.